Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors, your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. Glad you're here this Monday morning. Got a great show lined up with special guests here in the studio. Got a big week ahead of us, but first, let's do our weather brought to us by Haney Technical Center at the corner of Baldwin and Highway 77. High today, 78, low tonight, 58, just a good 20-degree span. Looking at the whole week now, hopefully this week looks good compared to last week. We had windy early and rainy late, so last weekend, the whole last week was just a tough week, but this week looks really good, and the distant forecast for the weekend looks good again. Monday moon forecast got a full moon coming on. If you look on the chart there, actually it's got Thursday the 21st and the 22nd on Friday and 23rd. They're giving all 3 days a full moon, all 3 nights a full moon, but Friday night will be completely 100% full. So this weekend, it's going to be really bright at night, especially, won't be a good weekend to go floundering. None of the old-time flounder guys wanted to flounder on a full moon, and it's a little early for it. I haven't seen a lot of reports on flounder. Water temperature is up to 69 degrees. It's looking good there. The tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn Funeral Home and Cemetery. Today is Monday, April the 18th, and folks, looking at tides this week, we just flat out don't have any tides. And look at the whole week. It was just not hardly any movement at all. It was neap tides, and we just hope that would depend on the weather as far as the wind blowing to get any kind of movement in the base system. But really, the marine forecast is calling east-northeast at about 9. So not a lot going on there, but we're going to have some pretty sunny weather, partly cloudy in areas, but going to be a good week weather-wise. All right, hopefully. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back and welcome to our guest, Ron Boyce. Good morning.
Good morning.
Glad to have on. Okay, he's the executive director of what we call the old PCMI, but it's called AMI Kids, PCMI.
Yes, sir. AMI Kids, Panama City Marine Institute.
All right, and I know the legacy of these, I've known all the guys that have been running this for years, going way back to Daniel Grizzard days. Yeah. Danny used to be there, and then Rusty Russell. Good leadership, and then you took over how long ago?
This is my third time at PCMI. So I've been here now this time 2 years.
Okay, and it ties together with so much of the outdoor activities we do in our area, and I've been down there. Chip actually worked there for a year or two with Danny Grizzard, so I got to know that program well, and there's just they do a lot of good things for young people. But first of all, let's talk about your background real quick. People always like to hear about where our guests come from, and you were ex-Marine and all that, so tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, well, when I got out of the Marine Corps, my primary job in the Marine Corps was I was a reconnaissance Marine. Mm-hmm. And we used to call that paid professional Boy Scout. So, run around the woods and everything.
That's funny. I don't mean to interrupt you, but I called my class, my outdoor wear class, sort of a dressed-up Boy Scout class.
Yes,
so
sir.
I understand where you're coming.
Yeah. So what are you going to do, when you get out? Mercenary or a scuba instructor? So 'cause I was a frogman. So I started out as a scuba instructor, and then I saw this job at the Beaufort Marine Institute right outside of Parris Island. And fell into that and fell in love with it. And that was back in 1988. So I've been working for this company, working with kids in this capacity since 1988.
Well, good. And then and you were doing a lot of underwater stuff. You had a good training in underwater stuff, didn't you?
By the U.S. Navy.
You've been underwater quite a bit, from what I understand. So then you were up in the Carolinas, and how did you end up down in this area?
Well, I was a scuba instructor up there, and there's not really great diving up there, so I would arrange to do trips down here to Panama City with Danny Grizzard. Mm-hmm. And we would come down there, and Danny would let us sleep on the boats, and I would dive my kids at the jetties, and he'd take us out on the Guardian Angel, and fell in love with Bay County and Panama City. And Danny just said, I got to get you down here. I want you working for me. And so eventually that's what happened. Okay,
a good story there. So you worked with him a good while, and so then you got Rusty came aboard. And you worked with him a while, and
we move around sometimes. There's another place that they need your help at, so I would go from here to there. And Rusty, at one time, he was my boss, and then another time he's running PCMI.
Yeah. And yeah, because it's like a fraternity of guys and girls that work there. Y'all just do move around a lot. But the bottom line, I think we all can agree on the bottom line that you're helping young people.
Yes.
And that's the bottom line, and that's the beauty of it. Now, you were up there in Holmes County there. Tell us about that quick story about working at a school up there. And then you were telling me just a while ago about it.
Same company, residential version of PCMI up Holmes County. And I was watching, over the years, a lot of the fun stuff went away as we focused more on academics and stuff. And so people were saying, that's you guys aren't doing what you used to do and what used to really change kids. And then I saw on television one night, I saw a newscast about your outdoor recreation class, the brand new class you're teaching at Mosley. And I said, hold on a minute, I could use that course code. So we put that into our school and brought back all the fun stuff that we used to do that way.
Man, what a great testimonial. I appreciate that, but you hit the nail on the head. And it's the same format at our school too, and although it's a different school situation, we do so much to we take the fun out of kids learning and all. And you saw it firsthand. And now you brought it back up there, so that was really good. And I see it on a daily basis. I see these kids sometimes come in the door. They've been in like 4 straight academic classes. They've been just hammered. I see them walk in the door sometimes. I just take a deep breath and relax. And you know what I'm talking about because they're going to have fun and learn something too. Okay, now, how many kids do y'all have down there?
Well, PCMI has evolved a little bit over the years. Okay. So now what you have is you have a 100-kid alternative school during the day, and then you have a 37-kid probation supervision program after school.
Okay.
So there's 2 different sets of kids going through there, and that's why you'll see our buses on the road because they're always picking up or dropping off somebody.
I see them a lot. I think I remember it seemed like Danny used to drive one way back in the day.
Everybody ends up buying the wheel of the bus something.
Now listen, when the kid gets there, what's their age groups?
We deal with 12 all the way up to 19.
Okay. And they learn some good wholesome things. Look, we got some pictures. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back with Ron. All right, welcome back. Glad you're with us on this Monday morning. Got a great week planned. All kind of exciting things happening here on Panhandle Outdoors this morning. We have our guest, Ron Boyce from AMI PCMI, which is the American Marine Institute, Panama City Marine Institute. And that's AMI is sort of like a parent group, and you got different ones across the area, and basically.
The furthest north we have one is in Virginia, and then the furthest west we have one serving Native Indians, Native Americans in New Mexico.
Oh, cool! I didn't realize that. That's really good. And the ones here have been located downtown, close to the Civic Center, or right close to Tarpon Rock Seafood.
Yes,
Y'all
sir.
Still located there,
yep.
Right on the water.
Since 1974, we celebrated 40 years last year.
Is that? I was wondering how long it's been there since '74.
Yes, sir.
Wow. It's helped out a lot of good young people. I got some pictures here. Let's talk about these pictures, and we got them sort of at random. And tell us about this first one, Ron.
Well, every year we get a grant to take the kids down to the Florida Keys to do coral reef research.
Yes.
So here we are underwater. Of course, he's having a great time. We've got a bunch of corals that we study. We've been studying the same ones. So we map them out, and every year we go back and we revisit the same exact corals to see how they're doing.
Oh, okay. Has it been a good positive experience with them? I mean, are they growing or what are they?
Well, it was, but there was a sad one. There was a huge elkhorn coral that we'd been watching grow for years, and a storm came and killed it and destroyed it. And we went to its spot, and it was gone. And I dug through the sand and was able to dig up parts, and I was crying underwater.
Oh, man.
It's like losing a friend.
Yeah, and that's nature. Sometimes nature does that, with big storms and all. All right, what about this next picture?
Well, we do a lot of environmental projects in St. Andrews Bay area, and including all the way, that particular picture, we partnered with the Apalachicola River Keepers. Yeah. And so all those shallow seagrass signs you see in St. Andrews Bay, PCMI kids put those in.
Oh, cool. All right, what about this black and white picture here?
Well, that's just showing, I was going through the old pictures and realized that we'd been doing water testing since the 70s.
Wow, do y'all keep a record? You have records way back then of the...
Well, the Lake Watch program allowed St. Andrews Bay to be one of the first ones to do saltwater sampling over 20 years ago. So
It'd be interesting to see how if it's changing all in.
you can get with RMA. They've got the data going back
cool.
20 years.
Okay.
And that's today. That's us doing it today.
Okay.
So, everything has changed, but everything's the same.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
We stick to our roots. Speaking of roots, we've been helping out RMA when they ask us to. We go out there and do that's seagrass planting for shoreline restoration. That helps the shorelines not get eroded. It replaces grass where it used to be. It makes for a great wave attenuation to keep your shoreline from getting washed away by boats and everything.
Yeah, that's cool, and it is so important. We took it for granted for a long time. People want to clear out, including myself. I want to clear out and everything, but we got to have some grass on it. We all realize that now.
Well, it's the nursery. That's where the little fish fry grow up.
That's right. The more grass, we talked about it before. The more grass we have in the bay system, the more little fishes we're gonna have, and the more big fishes we can catch. Clean it up, obviously.
Yeah. That's you can find the kids paddling one end and the garbage bag in the other. They get real competitive.
Isn't that amazing how a beautiful place like Econfina people can throw trash out?
Weird stuff gets in there like that traffic cone.
How did a traffic cone get in Econfina Creek?
One time I went by a giant tractor tire and I said, "There's no way I'm going to get that," And then I was at the boat ramp waiting for all the canoes to come in, and here comes a canoe with a big tractor tire perched on it. And I'm thinking and the guy said, "I saw it." I said, "I'm going to get that. I wasn't going to let it go." And he said they wrestled it for 30 minutes to get it in that boat.
I bet that was heavy on the water and all.
They get competitive.
All right.
That's this summer. This last summer, we were down there doing. We moved to a whole new site in the Keys, so we had to start a whole new set of corals. So here we are making new friends, new corals for the first time. And this is a PCMI kid. They're doing an algae check for the coral check and see how much algae is in the coral.
Now, when these kids, that's the picture. When these kids get with y'all, they don't have much experience in the outdoors, do they?
No, my gosh, no.
They don't know anything. But you look at the end result. So when you get a kid, now these kids have basically been in trouble. A lot of these kids have been in trouble or need some kind of help. Some of them have been in trouble. They just need help, and they need help.
Yes, sir.
They need peers. They need guidance and y'all sort of take them in. And so what's the first thing? Give us a process of what y'all do with the kids.
Well, some of the kids are coming from they're having trouble in school. Their guidance counselor then suggests to them, "Look, it looks like you're going to fail this semester.
Yeah.
Probably need to go over to PCMI." Smaller classrooms, especially if the kid is not really getting into school.
Right.
They just don't care. They're not attending. We had one girl that missed 140 days out of 1 year. She came to PCMI, hasn't missed any. A lot of that was she was homeless, and it was we're a lot more flexible. It's a lot easier for us to get out and get our kids, and we make the extra effort.
Yeah.
And so the kid will come in there. Some kids will be sent to us from the district where they're basically kicked out of every school but PCMI. It's the only one they can go to, and those are in there. And then you have the kids that are on probation that get assigned to us, and then we'll educate them as well.
And how long are they with you?
Well, PCMI used to be a 6-month program back, like, say, 10, 15, 20 years ago.
Right.
And kids would come in and do 6 months and then go back to their public schools. But McAllister changed that about 17 years ago and made it so that PCMI serves mostly the kids that are expelled from the other schools. So what happens is once a kid goes to PCMI under those conditions, they can't go back. So they pretty much have to finish out with us. Unless they finish out a whole year and a half or so with us, then they can go back.
Okay. And they get in there, the first thing, I guess they learn about the diving, they learn how to dive right away, or they just do a lot of book work, or?
Oh, well, they have regular classes, they do the math, the English, and the ones that are interested in scuba can attend the classroom portions of it. The ones that still are interested after going through the classroom portions, then based on their behavior, I get them in the water right there at the dock, and then as they get better, based on their behavior again, then I start taking them out diving. And if they stick with it, they'll go all the way through certification.
That's got to be a thrill for some of these young people to do that.
Oh, yeah.
I bet their eyes get wide, don't they?
Oh, they come up, they tell their stories. The Goliath grouper that came at us, on the Black Bart wreck, you could hear the girls squealing underwater.
Oh, that is so cool. All right, we're going to take our final break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back. Here with Ron Boyce from Panama City Marine Institute, AMI, and we were talking about how they're helping young people and have been since 1974 here in Florida Panhandle. But first, let's get our fishing game time brought to us by Mark Cowart of Counts Realty. We're looking at this morning from 10:18 to 12:18, and this evening from 10:39 to 12:39. And over the years, I know what I'm trying to do is find some video. We've got it all over Facebook. They got a Facebook page there, and Ron, one of the things you were tell me the story. I think the viewing audience will love the story that you're on the way to the Keys and about running across those Goliath grouper. That's got to be fascinating. We
take the kids down to the Keys every summer, and what happens is we have to grab a boat that we had in Tampa. Our headquarters is in Tampa.
Okay, is this video of what you're talking about?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So we have to grab a boat in Tampa. So Rusty, Russell, Michael, and I. Mike used to own the More Bottom Time back in the day.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So they're delivering the boat down to the Keys.
Holy cow!
And they run over something. They run over a blip. So they mark it. They dive down, and we've been wanting to dive this. So this last year we finally got on there. We hunted it down again, found this little thing out in the middle of the Gulf of Nowhere, 20 foot of water about south.
Wait a minute, that's 20 foot of water?
That's 24 foot of water southwest.
No way, with Goliath grouper?
Yes.
Holy.
Here's Michael.
Okay.
He's excited. Look, there's
That's amazing. You just don't see that.
No, and they're all over there, and it's a wreck of, we think it's a sponge boat or something, and there's about 40 Goliath spawning on it.
40.
Rusty called Fish and Wildlife guys, and he told them about it, and they're like, how deep was that? And he said 24 feet, and he goes, they don't spawn in 24 feet.
Right.
Rusty goes, they do now.
So look at that. Folks, what are you looking at now? I don't know if you heard this complete story. Y'all just ran across this blip.
Yes,
and just decided to go down, and probably nobody ever dived it, or they would have probably never seen it, because y'all were sort of out in the middle of nowhere on the way to Keys.
It was an accident. We just ran over it. We're always curious. That's how we find all our stuff. We just run over it, and we mark it, and then we'll throw somebody down to look at it.
And we were talking about it, that everybody thinks we're running out of Goliath grouper, and wow, they're making them come back here, aren't they?
Ever since they put the ban on them, they've come back really well. You can't go to a major dive site off Panama City without running into water.
Y'all have seen some good Goliath grouper?
Oh, here in Panama City, we see some big ones.
No, that is wonderful. That is great news. What a great video. This is 20 feet of water, 20.
Right, we're going to go back and get those props. There's a couple of bronze props on those things. We're going to get those. And no, you can't have the numbers.
Oh, no. Yeah. Well, like I say, look at that one.
Yeah, they were
What time of year was this?
This was summer, right in the middle of summer.
Right in the middle of summer.
Right in the middle of summer. There's two motors right next to each other. They're pretty big with Z drives and everything, and 5 bladed props. So it's kind of an older boat.
How long do you think it had been there?
We think it's, there's a lot of brass fittings on this boat. So the boat's old, but I found a cordless power drill on it with a plastic body, so I'm dating the boat wreck to somewhere around the 60s or the 70s.
Okay, so you did some investigative work then. I bet that was fun. That comes out of diving experience you had.
There's a lot of guesswork is what that is. We're still looking. There's the big one right there.
Oh my goodness. How big is that one?
That's about a 400-pounder right
400 pounds.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you can't put in scale, folks, but that was a 400-pound Warsaw grouper.
He was bigger than me. He
Wow.
mostly stayed on the edges.
Yeah.
The little ones that were like, about a yard long. They're the ones that come right up to you.
It was curious, huh?
So I'm just, going through and trying to find everything, see how much.
Are you doing the video
out.
or someone else?
I'm doing the video.
This is your video. That's cool. That's a great job.
Just trying to figure out where everything is.
Yeah.
But there's the prop.
That's it. Oh, okay. That's brass?
That's bronze, yeah.
Bronze, I mean.
5-bladed bronze props. You don't see those.
You don't see those.
And the other one is bent. So something happened. It was still running.
They hit something.
Yeah.
They hit something.
It was still running when it got smashed into the hull or something.
You didn't find any bones or anything?
No, I want the portholes. I'm looking for the portholes. There's,
Okay.
yeah. See, that's a close up of the prop right there.
That is cool. What are you reaching for there? Okay, got you. That's beautiful.
Big old horse
Now,
contact.
did you have some kids with you, or were y'all just?
We were taking the boat to use with the kids.
Okay.
So I didn't have the kids with me
Man,
yet.
you got a rough job now. I'll tell you.
I know.
I see how you handle all this stress. Okay, we got this. All right, well, that's good. And we may show some more of that later on. But we want to start wrapping things up and all. And I admire the job that the Panama City Marine Institute has always done, whether Danny Grizzard or Rusty or yourself. That's just a wonderful thing. Now, people I know y'all have donors that donate time and money to y'all over the years.
Oh yeah, today I'm picking up a boat donation that was donated to us. That's one of the main things that we've done over the years is take boat donations, vehicles too. But we have a website, AMI Kids, PanamaCity.org, and there's a button you can push if you want to donate. People donate to us United Ways also. We're a United Way agency.
Yeah. And that's wonderful. But people, if they wanted to volunteer to help out in a way, they could just come give with y'all or something, or
yes,
talk to y'all and all that.
And then we have our annual TV auction coming this June 18th.
I was going to ask you. I remember seeing that. That's really good. Now, what channel will it be on?
Channel 13, but our website is pcmiauction.org.
Shoot me an email, and I'll remind people to be watching that, because there's some really good stuff, and that helps y'all out a lot too.
There's a lot of fish. There's dive charters on there, dive lessons on there. All the dive shops support it.
Oh yeah, that's really good. That's really good. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yes, sir.
And next time y'all go down that dive, now I want to give me a call. I want to ride down there, especially that shallow. Talk about free dive, that couldn't you? Thank y'all for all the things y'all do. And folks, y'all, if you have a chance to help out or check on the website and all kind of neat stuff. That's the American Marine Institute, PCMI. And bottom line, they just do something very simple. They just help young people. It's as simple as that. And that's what we all want to do. And while you're helping them do outdoor activities a lot, outdoor activities help them.
The ocean is our classroom.
The ocean is the classroom. I love it. All right, folks, y'all have a great day today. Always do something good for your fellow man, and God bless.
Thanks for joining us for Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester. Panhandle Outdoors features hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.